Hey, it's Nyla, founder of Grateful to Be Natural and creator of Natural Beauty Academy, where we help women transition from relaxed to natural and help them along in the process, as well as just help them embrace their overall natural, whether it be hair or skin or their body, pretty much helping them to appreciate and love their natural selves. In this audio, we are going to talk about transitioning. We're going to talk about the beginning, about making a change and transitioning to being naturally beautiful. And that's pretty much just transitioning from relaxed to natural and just transitioning overall to a healthier way of life. And a lot of people have different ideas and different hang-ups about whether or not transitioning, becoming natural, or to rocking your natural hair is actually parallel to transitioning to a healthier lifestyle. And I can tell you from experience and from other people's experiences that it is. When you transition from the relaxed hair to the natural hair, it's a life-altering decision that you make, and it's a life-altering action that you take when you do that. Your mindset is different. The way you view yourself is different. The way you carry yourself is different because you are going against the grain. Even though natural beauty and the natural hair movement has spawned so many to embrace their natural, and I am saying the natural hair movement because it is a movement. It's a lot of women out there now that are embracing their natural hair, and you are starting to see a lot of that on the television. You're starting to see a lot of it in Hollywood. You're starting to see it. So yes, it is a movement, whether people want to believe it or not. That's not what was going on 5-10 years ago. It was very hard for people to see or to rock the natural hair and land jobs in Hollywood, and you wouldn't see a lot of natural hair models like you do now. It was totally different in the 60s, but believe me, and I know those who were around can vouch that in the 90s you didn't see a lot of naturals like that. Even in the 80s you really didn't see it like that. I mean, there were pressing curls, relaxers, things as far as that, anything to feed into the straightest great phenomenon. So it's a movement, and now there are people that are really looking to embrace that natural and not just transition from relaxed hair to natural hair, but to make an overall lifestyle change. And they do that. But a lot of times it does start with their hair. It starts with making that transition and making that change because it is a process to transition from relaxed to natural. Whether you do a big chop where you're cutting all of your relaxed hair off at one time, or whether you're letting it grow out and cut it bit by bit, whatever the case may be, there's still a process that goes with it. There's still a mindset that goes with that. So we're going to get more into that and transitioning in the mindset, because embracing your beauty is more than about hair. As I said before, there's so many reasons why a person would want to go natural. However, there's one thing that is universal, that you have to maintain and embrace your natural. You know, it requires more than just that crash course in hair care. It requires more than just saying, this is how you braid your hair, this is how you wash your hair, this is how you condition your hair. It requires more than just that. It requires first getting your mind right. Because it's a journey, because it's a process, there are going to be bumps along the way. So that being said, you want to have a mindset of, I'm going to stick this through. This is a lifestyle change, and this is a change that I want to make. Now, some people who are transitioning may not even see it that way. Some people who are transitioning probably are just thinking, you know what? I just want to see what my natural hair looks like. However, that is a process, because if you've relaxed your hair so long and for so many years, you will not know what your natural hair really looks like until maybe a year into it, because it's going to continue to break off. It's a process, and I'm going to be real and upfront about the process. I'm going to be real and upfront that yes, your hair will break off, because there are things, or there's a such thing as scab hair, and I'm not sure if that's a universal term, but it's called scab hair, and that is pretty much the hair that grows out after you're relaxed, or after you decide that you don't want to relax your hair anymore. And it's gonna take a while before your hair get used to how it's supposed to be, or how it's going to grow out. It took a while for me to really know what my hair type was when I went natural. And I'm just gonna let me rewind and go a little bit into my story, so you guys could kind of get some understanding about why Grateful to Be Natural. Why am I doing this? What is my reason, my method behind the madness? Anyway, I became natural years ago, maybe about 10 years, almost 10 years ago. And the reason I went natural was because I was burned with a kitty perm. Now, I wasn't burned on my scalp. That wasn't the case. I was burned. My skin on my arm was burned off. I still have the scar to this day. About 10 years later, I still have the scar to this day. If I knew what I know now, of course, that kitty perm business would be out of business, and I'd be a very wealthy woman based on, the lawsuit. However, statute of limitations saved them, and me not knowing what I know now. However, I got burned with a kitty perm, and I did not know that the perm was on my arm. I didn't feel the burn, anything like that. I saw the spot of cream, I wiped it off, and my skin came off with it. So my thought process was, if that can happen to my skin on my arm, just imagine what it's doing to my scalp. What is it doing to my hair? What is it doing? What is it really doing to my hair? Is straight hair worth all of that? I don't know what I was putting, on my head, which, whether people want to believe it or not, what you put on your skin goes into your body. It is all connected. So I decided to go natural after being burned, because I said, you know what, that's it. I don't know what I'm putting in my hair. If it can do that to my skin and I didn't even feel it burning, and it left a permanent scar on me, I don't want to deal with that anymore. That's just too much. That's ridiculous. So I decided to go natural, but I had no clue on what to do. I mean, I've been relaxed since I was 14 years old, and I probably relaxed my hair every 8 weeks or so for like 10 years. So I had no clue of what I needed to do with my natural hair once I got rid of the relaxer. I had no clue. So I went natural. I cut my hair. I didn't totally do a big chop, but I did get my hair cut, and it was just cut in a style, and I dealt with it that way. But as the style grew out, I really didn't know what to do with it, but I wanted my hair to grow out from the style. So I would wear ponytails, I would wear wigs, I would wear weaves, I would do stuff like that, but I still had my natural hair. About a year later, I decided to get locks. Contemplated it for a while because I liked what I seen when I was in Atlanta, because in the Midwest, locks didn't gain that popularity at the time. But I decided to get them. Decided to get locks. Loved the locks. Had them for about 6 years before I decided to comb them out, because I said, you know what? It's time for a change. It's time for something different. And as I said, we're talking about transitioning and changes. And I've made the change from relaxed to natural, from unlocked natural to a locked natural, from a locked natural back to unlocked natural. So I know change and I know transitioning. And I decided to comb them out. I combed my locks out, and I was happy. Like, I felt liberated. Not that the locks were holding me back from anything, because I loved them, but I started to see natural styles. By that time, I started to see more natural styles, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that with my hair. And I couldn't do that with the locks, even though I could wear my hair in a bunch of styles with the locks that I had. Now, I did not have sister locks, and sister locks are the very, very small locks that you can pretty much do anything with, like it was regular hair pretty much. I mean, it is regular hair, however, not locked hair, if you guys know what I mean. So I did that. I had locks, and I decided to comb them out. I combed the locks out. Took me about a month to actually comb them out because I didn't really hone in on the process. I just did them as I decided to do them. I didn't take them down every day. I just took them down whenever I felt like it. And I actually wrote a book on my lock takedown journey. And I also took down my daughter's locks because she had locks as well. Her transition was totally different because her hair was so weak and brittle that it was not holding her locks. Her locks were breaking off every day, and I had to keep repairing her locks. So I decided to comb her locks out, and it actually left her with a TWA, or teeny weeny afro. So I wanted her hair to be stronger. I wanted my hair just to be able to do everything else that it couldn't do with locks. So I took our locks out. I combed them out. I didn't cut them. I actually combed them out. After that, I started to see different styles and different ways to do hair, and I really started to embrace my natural hair. Now, the process was not that simple. I am saying that I love my hair and I enjoy the natural, and I do, and I did then when I first took down my locks. I was super excited about it. However, what I did was I straightened my hair because that's what I knew to do, and I didn't straighten it with a straightened comb or anything like that. I blow dried my hair. However, I said, you know what, if I'm going to go all out natural, I'm going to embrace different ways to do my hair, not just keeping it straight all the time, especially because I wanted healthy natural hair, and I know that too much heat can cause damage to it and break it off. So after I took it down and totally embraced my natural hair, I realized that my hair was of different textures. I didn't know what my natural hair really was when it was locked up because it was matted strands of hair, so I really didn't know. If you have locks and you're thinking of getting rid of them, if you're thinking of taking them down, it's still a transition process because the texture that my hair was after I took my locks out is a totally different texture than it is right now. And like I said before, it's going to take a while before you realize what your natural hair really looks like and how to take care of and maintain your natural hair and how your natural hair is going to be. And who knows, maybe a couple years down the line my texture is going to change again. I'm still working on that. Even though I've been natural for about 10 years, my hair has changed from when I first took my locks out till now. It may change again. I don't know that because I've only been lock free for like 3 years or so. So that's what I'm saying. You will not really know. I really got into my story, but you guys know, you guys see my background and where I came from, so you guys know that I went through different transitioning phases, and that's why I tell you my story, because of that, so you guys know that. That being said, those who want to transition because they just want to see what their natural hair looks like, it's going to take a while. Now, those who really want to go hard and go all out and say, you know what, this is the way of life that I want to go. I want to be natural. I want to embrace my natural beauty. And I'm just starting with my hair right now because I know that it's going to be a process. And I know that if I can get through this process, I can get through other things that may come about, and it can help me. It's a stepping stone that helps me in embracing the natural and other part, whether it's not wearing heavy makeup or wearing much makeup or just becoming makeup free. whether it's not wearing a padded bra. And that's another story in itself, because been there, done that as well. And it's just really embracing you as a person and loving yourself. Now, let's really get into this, because I swear I have really gotten into my story and talking about the basis and transitioning and being natural and all that other good stuff. But I'm saying that to let you guys know that it's not just about hair. It's a total transformation when it comes to mindset and action and goals and planning and just embracing your total natural being. And being natural and embracing that natural beauty, it requires an attitude, and I almost call it a diva-tude. I do call it a diva-tude. It comes from having that high self-esteem and that confidence. It comes from that confidence to rock what your creator gave you, no matter what anybody has to say about it. And it's a process to that as well, because yes, we can say that we are confident and we could be confident in certain things, but when it all comes down to it, there are times when we are wondering what the other person is thinking about us, and am I going to fit in with this, or if a person's going to take me serious. I still go through those questions as well with the things that I go through in my life. However, having that confidence and that diva-tude gets me through it, where I say, hey, this is who I am and I love it. And as I continue to better myself for myself, because of myself, then hey, if you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine. Simple as that. And that's having that diva-tude and that confidence. So you want to have that. You want to be able to dispel the myths. You want to be able to overcome the stereotypes, when you are going natural. You want to be able to say, you know what? I look good, and I know I do it. Yes, my hair is clean. Because I have locks do not mean that I don't wash my hair. Or yes, I can put my hair in any type of style. And yes, I can, work in a corporate office with natural hair. Even though it's been proven time and time again, there's still a myth that's out there that people with natural hair are not taken seriously when it comes to corporate positions. It's real crazy. However, it is what it is. But I've known many naturals that hold it down, and they're looked at for their ability, not their natural hair. So sometimes it could be the person, it could be the natural or the person who's transitioning that has that hang up, and not the people that's around them. But that goes with confidence, that goes with that diva-tude, to say, you know what, this is me. I know I can do my job. I know that I can carry out this task, and people are going to see that. They're going to look past everything else and see that you are doing what they trust you to do. And that comes with confidence. That comes from having that diva-tude. As I said before, there are steps to transitioning into the natural realm. There are different ways to transition as well. As I said before, I talked about big chops. I talked about wearing weaves. I wore a wig during my transition process, and some weaves and things like that, before I said, you know what, I really just want to all out do this. So what do I need to do? And oddly enough, I picked locks as my transition. Sometimes people might not see locks as a transitioning style from relaxed to natural. And locks can actually be a transition style from relaxed to natural. And whether people want to believe it or not, you can lock relaxed hair. It's a certain method that you do it, and it's called latching. It can be done. So you can do it the free-forming way. You also can do it the manicured way. However, the straighter your hair, the longer it takes to lock up. But locks are a transitioning style. If that's the way you are going, then you got to know that that's a transitioning style, and you want to take care of your hair when it's locked. I use locks as my transitioning style without actually knowing that I was using it as a transitioning style. So I didn't take care of my locks as well as I could have when it came to the point of taking them down. Now, I could have not popped my locks, and that means when they mat together, you pull them apart and it makes that popping sound. When locks make that popping sound, that means that your hair is breaking. I know that I really didn't have to tell people that, but just in case I did, that means your hair is breaking. So if I wasn't doing the popping, I would have had healthier hair after I took my locks out. When I took them out, I had a lot of damaged hair, and it wasn't from the lock takedown process. It was actually from the method that I used to manicure my hair when I did have locks. So if you use locks as your transition style, you want to make sure you're taking care of your locks throughout the process. But there's other ways. There's, braided extensions, there kinky twists. When I transitioned my daughter hair, and her hair was in a TWA, and I wanted to have it in protective styles in order for it to retain length, I used yarn, and I did different styles with yarn, different yarn braids. I did French braid, cornrow yarn styles. I did single braids or box braids. I did a number of different styles on her hair with yarn. So there are different ways you can transition. But one thing is universal for transitioning success is that you have to have a clear reason. You have to have a clear reason. You have to have a clear goal for your journey, as I spoke about before. As I said, we have our own reasons. We have our own reasons for transitioning and becoming naturally beautiful. So in order to stick with it when the growing gets rough, and the growing can get rough and tough, we must identify our own reason. We have to identify what it is that we want and why we're doing it. And we want to set a short-term goal and a long-term goal for our journey. And it may not just be one goal each, but we want to make sure that it's at least one short-term and it's at least one long-term goal for the journey that we're taking. And we also want to associate ourselves with other naturals and people that are going to encourage us, not discourage us. Those who are on a similar path that we are going. You want to have that good support system, because that support system helps us when challenges come around. It also helps us because it provides us with lessons and me too's. Like, you can say something to a person who's been through that journey and been there, done that, and say, you know what? Me too. That's happened to me. That's why I told you guys my story at the beginning. That's why I got so into it, because if there's anything that I can teach you, if there's anything that you guys can take from my story, I'm going to be happy with that. Because I've been there and done that. I've been there with the relaxed hair. I still color my hair. I don't color it as much, but I still color my hair. I like different colors. So I still do that. And sometimes people say that that's not total natural because you're using chemicals and things like that. I haven't ventured into the henna yet, but I am going that route because I think that'd be a cool way, and I want to try new things. It's that embracing the new. So I do want to try the henna, and of course, as I go through my process, I'm going to share my stories with you. Because of the Me Too's, because of the lessons, I've been there, done that. I didn't totally do the big chop, but I did get my hair cut, and I did cut a lot of relaxed hair off before I locked my hair. So I did the haircut, I did the locks, I combed the locks out, I went through the transition of straightening my hair at first and deciding to do away with the straightening, and I probably straighten my hair probably once or twice a now, if even that. So I went through those journeys, I went through those processes, and through that journey and through that process, I developed a higher sense of self-confidence. And was that what I was going for? No, not really. My whole thing was that I wanted to stop getting relaxers and embrace my natural hair and learn how to take care of my natural hair. But throughout that process, I learned so much about me, I learned so much about myself, and I grew so much. So it is a higher sense of self-confidence, whether people want to believe it or not. Those who really go through the journey realize that it's totally changed them, and it's a total life-changing process. So you want to have that support system. You want to have the goals, and you want to associate yourself with people that are on the same path, or at least those who are encouraging you along the way, because the journey is always easier when we have a companion. It's a lot more bearable and a lot more fun at times too. Another key is to learn your hair. You want to learn your hair. We have so many textures, and no two heads are the same. We have so many different textures in our hair. I probably have maybe 3 different textures in my hair, and I know my daughter has 3 different textures. We may have 1 or 2 main textures, but we have so many different textures that compile what is deemed as our natural head of hair. So straight is straight, but natural can come in so many different textures. So what may work for me or other people may not work for you, and what may work for you may not work for me or someone else. So you want to learn your type. You want to learn what works best for you. And if you have something that's currently working for you, stick with that. There's so many products out there that we can become product junkies because we want to try this next thing and try this new thing, and then we wonder why our hair ended up on our pillow last night. So if it's working for you, make sure you continue on with that. If it works for you, don't change it. And be careful, like I said, be careful of trying everything you see, because being a product junkie is not cool. It does more harm than good. Believe me, been there, done that as well. So, in order to successfully transition and embrace your natural beauty, you want to get your mind right. That's where it starts. It starts with developing that strong mindset, and you want to increase your self-confidence, your self-esteem. You want to surround yourself with positive, like-minded individuals, people that are going to encourage you, not discourage you, and even people that's going the same route or been there, done that, because you have those Me Too's, you have the stories out there that's going to help you along the way. You want to be clear and set clear short-term and long-term goals, and always stay true to the process. Have that goal out in front of you. Not only having your goals in front of you, you want to have what would be your challenge? What would be something that may hinder you or deter you from your goal? And after you list that or those things, then you want to list, okay, if that happens, what can I do to get back on track? So you got your bases covered. You have your goal, you have your challenge that may deter you from your goal, and you have your solution. So, to recap, we want to get our minds right and increase our self-esteem. We want to surround ourselves with positive, like-minded individuals, and those who either been there, done that, or who are on that same journey, that's going that same route that we're going, and those who are going to encourage you, not discourage you. And you want to set clear short-term and long-term goals. And you always want to stay true to the process. You want to fill out that sheet that I'm going to attach with this audio, and that sheet has the 4 questions on it, and it's going to ask you about your dynamic outcome. It's going to ask you your dynamic purpose. So your outcome is, what are you trying to accomplish with this natural hair journey that you're going on? Your purpose, why are you doing that? Why are you going on this journey? Why do you want this? The third question is, what challenges could possibly deter you from that journey and that goal that you're trying to reach? And number 4, what is the solution? What am I going to do when these challenges arise to put myself back on track, to get myself back on track? It could be as simple as calling up one of your natural friends or your coach, or email me at admin@gratefultobenatural.com and say, hey, I am so ready. I want to relax this stuff. I don't know what to do. This is crazy. My perm box is looking right at me. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if those problems arise? So you have that in front of you. You have that in front of you. So that's it. That's it with this audio. I'm really hoping that you've gotten something out of this. Even if it was from my long story, I hope you didn't fall asleep on me. Even if it was from my long story or whatever, I'm hoping that you got something from this and I was able to help you either go through with the transition or to stop you from grabbing that perm box and relaxing your hair. One thing is for certain, just remember this. One thing that is constant is change. It can sometimes be scary, for lack of a better word, but that's the deal. That's the deal when it comes to the unknown. It can be scary. When we have clarity on the change that we are looking for, we have to stay focused. We have to stay focused, and we got to stick with it so the reward is sweet and the journey is so memorable. So do what Michael said, and make that change. Just do it. Hey, Nike said that. So make that change. It can be scary. It can be tough at times. But when you have that support system and you have your goals in front of you, nothing can stand in your way. And you do have us at Grateful to Be Natural. So definitely make sure that we're part of your email list. Admin at Grateful to Be Natural. That's grateful, the number 2, the letter B, natural.com. Also, like our page on Facebook at Grateful to Be Natural, the number 2, the letter B, natural. And follow us on Twitter. That's Grateful to Be Natural. That's GR8 full, the number 2, Be Natural. I look forward to helping you with your journey. I look forward to giving you more good content. So definitely follow us and get this information. And if you're not listening to this audio on our website at gratefultobenatural.com, go to gratefultobenatural.com and fill out the form on the page so you can be part of our email list, and you will get the blast out. You'll get the information as it comes out on these audios, on these free audios that I'm just putting out there because I want you to embrace your natural beauty. Embrace your beauty. Be grateful to be natural. This is Nyla again, signing off.